inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life. Love is light that's within me, shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, inside,
Hello.
inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright.
Hello.
Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life. Love is light that's within me, shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the
Hello.
dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, 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 bringing hope and make you feel alright.
Share.
Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life.
I see you, Diana. Welcome. Oh.
Love is light that's within me, shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love.
Christabel, you're welcome.
Inside,
DL, I see you. Jig Jagger, you're welcome. Colleen Pop, I see you. Miriam, I see you. Thank you guys for joining. At Solution, you're welcome. Justin, Jay, thank you for joining. I see you. You're welcome.
The future and life.
Yeah.
Let us light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world.
Sophia, I see you. Cher, I see you. Isaiah, Marianne, you're welcome. Help share this live. Bisharo, I see you. Nana, you're welcome. I see you.
Inside,
Andy Floyd, I see you. Thanks for joining. Oh, Mrs. Williams, I'm seeing you back and forth. Good evening. Kaz, Linda Poku, I see you. Flint, I see you. Andy Lay, I see you. Easy Peasy 16, you're welcome. Thank you 20 for joining. Aisha, hello. Porter,
let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love.
Mona, thanks for joining. I see you. You're welcome. Hello. Aladay, I see you. Joy 1 billion, I see you. Tosi Morgan, you're welcome. I see you this day. Thank you for joining. Let's share the live to our friends. Let's share the live to all our friends. At least 20 people, like I always say. Not too much. Northern Whitey, I see you. Thanks for joining. You're welcome to Inside. I trust your day has been good. It's a bit busy, tiring, but we thank God. Pizarro, thanks for joining. Thank you for joining. Yes, let's share the live. Let's invite more friends to be part of this talk today. And this talk, you can see up there, you want to hear some things about it. Forget Sharika, I see you. Thanks for joining. Let's share to all our friends to be part of this talk today. How are you? Yes, I hope you are feeling good. It's a lovely day. It's a bit chilly, but chilly and sunny at the same time. I don't know this weather, but it's all good. It's all good. Thank you so much for joining, guys. You're welcome to Inside with FunmiRoyal today. I thank God, thank you, love, for joining. Let's share to all our friends to be part of this talk today. It's an interesting one, and Sita 7772. Thanks for joining. Always interesting topic I try to bring here, and it has to do with you. It has to do with me, or maybe once upon a time. I don't know. I know quite a number of people that has gone through this topic. Big Mrs. H, I see you. Mrs. Williams, I'm seeing you somewhere on the streets of TikTok. Thank you so much. I know you're still probably at work or on your way home, but thank you so much for always joining to support here on Insight. I really appreciate you, and everyone that, you know, week in week out always joining in. Andre, I see you. Mame, thanks for joining. I really appreciate everyone. Let's share to all our friends today to be part of this talk. Let's share to as many people that you know they've just gone through a heartbreak. Urala, I see you. If you know anyone that has gone through any heartbreak in recent times, invite them to be part of this talk today. King Crichton, I think I see you. Thanks for joining. Ayomighty, you're welcome. So guys, let's invite more people to be part of the talk, and I'm going to be kicking off very soon. Thank you so much for joining in. I really appreciate you. Share to about 20 or more people. I think you can share to about 15 people at a go. Rashida, I see you. Thanks for joining. Let's do that. Let's do that. Thank you. Nadrina, I see you. Let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside. Yeah. Inside. All around me. Yeah. Inside. Yes, good day, good morning, good evening. Happy Monday to you wherever you are today. We thank God for another start of another week. And, you know, this is gradually just crawling to an end somewhat. But we thank God, we still have about 5 more months to go, and hopefully, you know, they're good months ahead of us. We just have to be hopeful. Gifty, I see you. Thanks for joining. Gifty, do me a favor, just invite about 15-20 friends to be part of this talk today. I really would appreciate that. Thank you so much, Lord Official, for joining. And on Insight today, the topic is heartbreak. Heartbreak. It's not one topic you want to hear about, but I've decided to bring it here just to help, you know, a handful of people out there. Let's talk about it. I know it's a painful thing to go through, but we probably have gone through it at one time or the other in our lives. And how do you deal with it? You know, certain aspects of it. Do you recover from it? And how soon can you heal from a heartbreak? Oculistic One, I see you. Thanks for joining. Especially these days, a lot of people, I was speaking to a youngster a couple of days ago, and he was telling me about 3 heartbreaks he had, and they were not pleasant at all, and he's just about giving up on relationship altogether. And I'm like, oh, it's not the end of the world. Maybe you still need to heal some bit and try again, because love is a good thing, and love is in the air, you know, until you find that right person that will not break your heart. And, you know, not just in love, you can have heartbreaks with a friend, a relative, a colleague, you know, all sorts of heartbreaks in all facets of life. So, but invite as many people to be part of this talk today, and let's see how far we, open up our minds to hear about it. And perhaps if you're going through it right now as I'm speaking, you will find some sort of peace at the end of this talk. And of course, I want to hear from you. When I finish my talk, I want to hear from you. And I always give this talk so that we can put some perspective to our discussion today, and always anyways. And also on Insight with FunmiRoyal, I always bring a puzzle, and this is for us to kind of calm down a bit after talking about all this serious talk, just something to kind of wind down. And last week I brought a puzzle and nobody was able to attempt it, so I'm hoping that today somebody out there listening right now will be able to attempt my puzzle. If you were here last week, you will remember that it was a tongue twister of Betty Botta. So please Google it and maybe start practicing. And by the time I finish my talk today, you might just be bold enough to attempt that. So the thing to the puzzle, which is a tongue twister, is you have to say it as fast as possible without blabbing. Yes, that is the whole idea. So let's see who will make an attempt, and of course you get the gift for today. And that reminds me, let's see, because the other time I couldn't find my gift box for whatever reason. So let's hope today we're not going to have any issues with network, and people coming into the box and all of that. So guys, I'm going to go into my talk today. If you're just joining in, you're welcome. The Sun and Jasmine, I see you. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So I'm going to be talking about this topic today, heartbreak. Yeah, I know. It's very heartbreaking. I know, but I hope you find healing today. Juliana, you're welcome. So the talk today, like I said, is a subject that touches everyone at some point in time in their lives. If not now, maybe in the past, and who knows, maybe in the future. So it's best to kind of sit and enjoy this talk and, see the different perspective to it, just in case in the future somebody breaks your heart, at least you know what to do, or you know how to go about things. So whether it's from the end of a romantic relationship, a friendship, or even a family conflict, heartbreak is a profound and very challenging experience for anyone to go through. So yeah, it's hard, but we have to talk about it. It's part of our lives. It's something we go through. Like I said, it's always good to talk about it and see how we can help each other heal, maybe faster. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So we need to understand heartbreak, understanding its effects and how to heal from it can help us navigate this difficult emotional terrain more effectively. For every challenge we'll face, for every heartbreak we'll face, at some point, it's good to take stock. Just sit down and be objective. What went wrong? Was it your fault? Was it the other party's fault? All of those things like that. So we're going to be looking at heartbreak, the effect of it, and how we can heal, from it as well. So in case you're wondering, what is FunmiRoyal talking about today? First, we need to understand heartbreak, because sometimes you find out that some people might be in denial. Basi, you're welcome. So what is this heartbreak I'm talking about? Heartbreak is a term that describes the intense emotional pain, and distress that follows the end of a significant relationship or the loss of a deeply cherished person. It's painful, and that's just the truth about it. And it can also manifest as a result of various experiences, such as breakups itself, divorce, broken love. Lulu, thanks for joining. Betrayal, or even death of a loved one. Death of a loved one can bring, heartbreak, because, forever, or well, till you leave, you're never gonna see them. So imagine if you're a very young person and you've lost this person. Of course, you there's a big heartbreak there, because if you get to still live 80 years on earth, that means for 80 years you're not going to ever see this person here again. So of course it could be heartbreaking. I mean, no matter what, even if they're old, nobody wants to lose their loved ones, no matter what. So how does heartbreak impact us emotionally? So I want to look at the emotional impact of heartbreak. Yes, thanks for joining, Sarah Beach, Sarah Jit. Thank you so much for joining. So heartbreak can evoke a whirlwind of emotions, including sadness, anger, confusion, even loneliness. Because if you lose your best friend, of course you'll be lonely for some time until you get over that heartbreak, until you get over, all of that emotional turmoil going through your body and all of that. And for a while there, you might just be lonely, especially if it's a best friend or a brother or a sibling you're quite close to. So it often brings a sense of loss and can lead to feelings of rejection and worthlessness. You just feel, what's the point? This person is gone out of your life. Your heart aches, and you just feel like unworthy. You just feel rejected. And, also, oh, Sister Judith, Pastor Judith, my wonderful sister, thanks for joining. If you're just joining, the topic is heartbreak. What are the effects? How do we deal with it? Because it will come at some point in time. And like I said, thank you so much, Pastor Judy. Thank you so much. So this emotional turbulence can be very overwhelming and all-consuming, depending on what the heartbreak is about. And it makes, life so somewhat difficult to focus on your daily task or find joy in usual activities that you do. I talked about, if it's a loved one you've just lost, of course you will feel some sort of heartbreak. And imagine maybe you have your go-to place, you always go with this person, and then maybe you see pictures, your heart would even break some more because they're gone from your life. Or maybe that relationship is broken, you can't have that anymore. Or whatever the situation is, you will feel it, you will feel that emotional loss. You feel so overwhelmed. You feel, all these emotions rushing through you. But as painful as it is, it's not the end of the world. And as they say, time heals, and every individual is different. The time you need to heal might not be the time I need to heal. I might heal quickly more than you, or you might be the one to heal first or faster than I would. So each individual is different. Some may say, oh, you're a very emotional person. And some emotional people might even heal faster than the non-emotional ones. So we never can tell. But time heals, as they say. And at some point, if it's too much, I tell you what to do as well. So let me not jump the talk today. So again, heartbreak has some physical effects on individuals as well. Heartbreak doesn't just affect our emotions, so it also affects, it has physical consequences as well in our lives. It can lead to sleep disturbances. When you feel that heartbreak, you feel like you can't sleep. You try to sleep and you're remembering the good old times, or you're just remembering, all that happened in that relationship, and you just can't sleep. And before you know, it's 4 a.m. in the morning, and it can affect you physically in that regard. And also some people, it changes their appetite. They don't feel like eating. You and I know that's not healthy. And sometimes you just feel unnecessarily tired because you're overwhelmed by that emotion. You're just tired. You don't feel like doing anything. You're just there. And you even feel some physical pain. Sometimes I remembered years and years ago, I was going through a phase, and if I touch my chest this way, I feel pain. I feel that pain in there. So it's something people can go through when they often face heartbreak. And some will say, it's a broken heart. Oh, a broken heart, like the emoji heart and the slash in between, like a broken heart. It affects you physically in that regard. Then the stress and emotional turmoil can weaken your immune system, making one more susceptible to illness. Because when you're not eating adequately, you get unnecessarily fatigued. and then you lose your appetite, and then you start feeling sick in your body. Some people start running temperature, even all sorts can start happening. And we don't want that, you know. Heartbreak is not a good thing. Or could it? We will talk about it shortly. So I'll just give my talk today. But those are the ways it can affect you physically. If you're not sleeping, just watch it. Maybe you're overthinking it because of the heartbreak you're going through. So let's be mindful. We have to take care of ourselves. We still need to, you know, if at all anything, I mean, if you're feeling ill, you have to take some medication, and you cannot take medication on empty stomach. So you have to eat something to keep the body alive and going. So another effect of heartbreak is the psychological toll it takes on anyone who goes through it, and that's just it. So the psychological impact of heartbreak can be really, really profound. It can trigger anxiety, it can trigger depression in some people, and in severe cases can lead to mental health disorders. Yeah. Some people may even start hallucinating, like they're still there, they're not there, especially maybe in the case where a loved one has passed. Sometimes you just think that they're in the room with you, or you try to sleep, you're just dreaming about them, and it feels so real, like they're still around. And this can, you know, sometimes if care is not taken on the severe side, can lead to some mental health disorder. But it's part of what some people may have gone through, or they will have to go through that. But they're not alone. There's always help available. Whether you're not going to take that help, it's another thing altogether. So the experience can shake one's sense of identity and self-worth, leading to prolonged periods of self-doubt and insecurity. Especially, for example, if it's a colleague at work, you've worked in a particular company for 10 years, and this person has been your work colleague for all these years. It's even transcended into a very close relationship, and maybe they left the company, or something terrible happens to them and they're just gone. You will feel the heartbreak. You will feel it. You will feel it. I mean, there is no how. It would take a toll on you. You might just feel you're not capable anymore doing this job because they're not there. Maybe especially when you're on the same team and you find out that, oh my goodness, is there any self-worth in me? Oh my goodness, I feel inadequate. I feel this, I feel all that. It's just because of the heartbreak you're going through. Because, I mean, for you to have worked in a company for 10 years, that means you've been pulling your weight. So don't look down on yourself. It's just what you're going through at that point in time, and it shouldn't be the end of you. It shouldn't rub off on your uniqueness, if I may say. Esther, thanks for joining. Esther, help share to about 20 people to be part of this talk today. So I'll be giving the talk, and hopefully a few of us can come up and let's talk about this topic, heartbreak. And I know there's so many angles to it, you know, so please let's feel free to come share one or two things with us so we'll learn from each other. Thank you so much, Tokumbo. You're welcome. Please help share to as many people to be part of this talk today. So what are the coping mechanisms? There's so many, and like I said, because of time, I'm just going to limit it to a few bits, and hopefully you can find one or two to help you if you're going through a heartbreak. So while heartbreak is inevitable, sometimes we try to avoid it and all, but you know, life will bring its own journey, its own experience and all that. So how we cope with it can make a significant difference in our healing process. And like I said, some people might take longer to heal, and some other people, they just shake it off, and you know, they know life continues and they heal faster than some other people. So let's talk about some effective coping strategies when you're going through a heartbreak, or when you've just gone through a heartbreak. The first thing I'm going to say to whoever's listening out there is allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to grieve. Do not deny the heartbreak. Do not deny what's just happened. Do not deny that experience, you know, is gone. So allow yourself to grieve, because this is a part as part of the healing process. If you don't allow yourself to grieve, you bottle things up or you ignore it, you might just explode when you least expect. So it is important to acknowledge your pain and give yourself permission to grieve. If you feel like sitting down in one corner and crying and sobbing, please do that if it's gonna help you. Suppressing emotions is not gonna help at all. It will just prolong the healing process. I remembered how many years now? 2009. I lost my older sister, and oh my goodness, it was out of the blues. It was not expected at all. Some phone calls you just don't want to hear, and it sounded like, are they talking to me? Is it my sister they're talking about? And I had to travel from one country to another, because we're not living in the same country at the time. And when I got there, her pastor was, the person I was kind of speaking with, and he tried to mentally prepare me for what I was going to see when I entered the hospital, because she was on a life support machine. And I'm like, can't be my sister. No, we were still in Portugal some years back, having, enjoying life. And I'm like, it just destabilized everything. I just couldn't think straight. I'm thinking in my head, maybe it's a mistake, maybe somebody else they're talking about. At that time, my heart had sunk in like it just can't be, until I walked through those hospital doors and I saw her on the hospital bed with all this machine. She was on life support. And for me, the shock, I could not believe what came out of me, because it wasn't something I was expecting. I saw her, I was just staring at her on the hospital bed. And for a moment there, I didn't know what to do. And the pastor was just beside me, like, because it's a loved one, just seeing them lying down there. And he was like, are you okay for me? Are you okay? I'm like, I just started laughing. Honestly, not that I wanted to laugh. Nothing was funny, but I just started laughing. And in my head, I'm thinking, stop laughing. This is not a funny matter. So you can imagine, grief can come. If it was tears, I bet I would sit on the floor and sob as well. But for me, that was what came. I was just laughing uncontrollably. And then after laughing for a while, tears started coming. Like, I can't believe, because I was seeing her when we're jumping from one plane to another, from one country to another. I remember that year we went to Portugal. We took a trip in Portugal to Spain and Italy, and came back, Spain, Italy, back to... And I'm like looking at her lifeless on that bed. Imagine the shock, imagine the heartbreak. And I started crying. So if you're going through grief, heartbreak, no matter what situation has brought it about, allow your body to go through that process. Whatever your body feels like doing at that time, don't suppress it, because it's not going to help. And for me, that kind of gave me a bit of strength eventually. And thank God for the support around. So that's just my own life, one of many, if I must say. And it really touched me. And I don't know why I'm sharing this. So maybe somebody out there is listening. Allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to go through that emotion when you're experiencing that heartbreak. Another way we can cope is lean on your support system. Just like, thank God for her pastor, who was even there for me, and her best friend was around at the time. Allow yourself to have that support system. Don't shut people out, because at that point in time you need the help, all the help you can get. So seek comfort in friends, in family members. Talking about your feelings with someone you can trust can provide relief and a sense of connection. At least you're not going through that alone in some way. They say a problem shared is half solved. Whatever you feel, share with this person who is there to support you. Don't try to be strong when you know you just can't be strong. That's why I say don't suppress that feeling. So rely on the support around you, your friends and families, your colleagues. Rely on them at that crucial time, because it is necessary and it is needed. Don't go through that heartbreak alone. Again, another way we can cope is practice self-care. Some people know what to do when they're sad and they see the sadness prolonging. They quickly come back to themselves and do the thing they love to do. They have their me thing that they do that will help them back to their happy place. So practice self-care, engage in activities that will nourish your body and soul. You know yourself best, so you will know what will help you. Some people, it could be exercise. Some people, it's eating well, get enough sleep and engage in hobbies you enjoy. So practice self-care. For the fact that your heart it feels like it's broken into thousands of pieces, find something that will bring some sort of happiness back to you. So practice self-care. Know yourself best. Know how to get off that sad moment. Know how to bring joy back to yourself. It's very crucial, because when you're going through a heartbreak, those might be the things you might just need to help you heal quickly. And again, reflect and learn. I know when you're going through it, it's hard. But with time, when the pain kind of ease off a bit, you can actually reflect and learn, especially if it's in a situation where this person is still around somehow. Take time to reflect on that relationship, what you can do, to learn from that experience. What have you done, or what did you not do? What is your contribution that has led to the heartbreak? Like I said, there's so many ways heartbreak can come. So understanding the lesson can help you grow and prevent similar issues in the future. So they say experience is the best teacher. Don't just go through that heartbreak for going through sake, but learn from it and grow from it. Pick as many things as possible and learn. And that's why I always say you need to have an open, honest conversation with yourself. Don't be in denial of anything. If you've done something wrong that led to that heartbreak, admit it, own it, learn from it, find ways you could have done better, and let that stay with you, because another heartbreak might just be maybe a couple of years down the line. You might have to face it again, and your experience will just be what will help you through that new heartbreak, so to say. So learn to understand, and so that this can help you grow and prevent similar issues in the future. Again, how else can we cope? This one, I will always put it in. Professional help. Don't hesitate to seek professional counseling or therapy if the pain becomes too overwhelming. I've seen people who, whether they're grieving, they've lost their loved one, as in they've lost that relationship, not the person as such, they will just enter into this space. They're not talking to anybody. They're not taking their shower. They're not brushing their teeth. They're not eating. They're not sleeping. And in the space of 2 days, you will think they've been ill for 2 months. Yes, that is the extreme case. And such a case might just need a professional counselor to come out of that space. So do not feel embarrassed. Do not feel ashamed. This is just too overwhelming for you to carry alone. Seek mental health professional who can provide valuable tools and strategies for coping. It's very crucial. It's very important. Imagine at age 30, you've gone through this heartbreak and you just refuse to come out of it. You just refuse to live life. And God knows you're still going to live to be 100. So you're telling me you want to live the next 70 years in that space. It's not healthy. It is not healthy. So we need to still look after ourselves. Or as I said, if people are around you, let them help you. And if they cannot help and it's too much, get a professional help. Professional counselor, professional therapist, they would help with things like that. Then another coping mechanism is the healing process itself. Thank you so much, 27, for joining. Rita, I see you. Healing from heartbreak is a gradual process. You can't speed it up. because I remembered months after I lost my sister. I don't know, for whatever reason. I think, I'm not sure how that song came to play in the matter. I think about the time she passed on, there was this song I would listen to and it would bring comfort, you know. And months later that I thought I was okay. I think me and my husband was going out, or we're going to church or something, I can't remember. And we had this set of songs playing in the car. And then this song just started playing. And from nowhere, I just started crying. I just started crying uncontrollably because the song triggered for me that experience of me losing my sister. So you can imagine, I thought I was kind of healed in a way, but this was months and months later, and that song triggered for me, and I'm like, oh my God. So there's still some sense of heartbreak or loss, you know, still in there. So healing takes process. It takes process. It takes gradual process. Don't rush the healing from heartbreak. I've heard of people that when a love relationship, and you know the other party broke the relationship up, and then the week after they're saying to everyone, oh, they're in another relationship. And I'm thinking, that's not good. You just broke up with this person. You've been in a relationship for years and years. You just broke up last week. Now this week you're telling me you're in another relationship. They are not facing reality. They're not even nowhere near healed. I know people heal faster than the other, but not like a week, because you're still mourning that relationship you've lost. You know, your heart is broken. How are you going to function in a new relationship within the space of a week? So it involves accepting the reality of the loss. Maybe their mind is just telling them, oh, I'll just quickly get into another relationship and everything will be fine. I'll be okay. I'll be all right. But you have not given yourself the time and the process to go through the heartbreak. It takes adjusting to life without this person. Don't quickly replace them with somebody new. You haven't healed. You haven't even thought about healing, let alone going through healing. So you're going to do a bit of harm to yourself, especially emotionally and mentally. And moving forward, it takes time adjusting to this person not being in your life again, or this relationship not being there anymore. So it's important to be patient with yourself and recognize that healing takes time. Don't rush it. It takes time. Some people, I know of someone who lost their wife, and 10 years after, before they remarry, because they're like, they just feel like the wife is still there, like, you know, they're still mourning, they're still in that phase, they don't want to hear anything, any relationship. I'm not saying rush into it, but I mean 10 years, that's a long time. Abel God, thanks for joining. The topic today is heartbreak, and I'm talking now about the coping mechanisms, because I'm going to be rounding up soon. And I want to hear what your take is about it. How has heartbreak affected you? Do you have tips for us on how we can cope apart from the ones I've mentioned? And you know, if you have any experience you want to share with us, Bukola, blessed, I see you. Thanks for joining, sister. God bless you. So give yourself time to heal. Give yourself time to process the heartbreak. Hi sis, how are you? Be patient with yourself and recognize that healing would take time. Don't rush it. Each person's journey is unique, and there's no set timeline for recovery. But you will know that, you know, you have recovered from that heartbreak, and you will prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, physically to go into another relationship if it's a relationship heartbreak, or to go into another workspace or whatever it may be. But it takes time in that journey to recovery. So the last one I'm going to mention before rounding up today, like I said, the talk is not too much, but I want us to kind of talk about it and share our experiences, how people can overcome a heartbreak when they're going through one, or maybe they've gone through it, they're still struggling, they don't know if they can move past that and all of that. Telenoni, I see you, thanks for joining. So another coping mechanism is the positive outcomes. So Though it's very hard to see heartbreak in that moment, but it can lead to personal growth and resilience. They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So you just have to come out stronger after you've gone through the heartbreak. Find your strength again. And like I say, if you can self-reflect about what went wrong, what didn't you do, what you did, or what you overdid, or whatever it is, you will learn from that experience. So it teaches us about our own strength, getting to know ourselves better, our capacity to love, and the importance of self-love. I remember I was chatting with one client some time ago, and I asked them, do you love yourself? And they went into self-care. I do this, I do that. I'm like, let's pause a second. Do you love yourself? Because sometimes we don't love ourselves. Are we sure we're even loving the people in our lives the right way? And then when you talk about what you do for everybody, that is not loving yourself. What do you do for yourself? How do you love yourself? What do you show, or how do you show you love yourself? And this person was struggling to say the sentence, I love myself. They couldn't say it. So self-love, when you go through a heartbreak, is very important. Love yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Even if it's your fault that a break happened, do not beat yourself. Learn from it. Like I said, it teaches you something. So what is that thing? Learn from that experience. It makes you a stronger person. It makes you a wiser person. And even, opens your heart more to have that capacity to love and love yourself as well. So over time, many people find that they emerge from the heartbreak with a clearer sense of what they want in life and in their relationship moving forward. Because you find out when you're reflecting on that experience, you see all the, oh my God, oh, that wasn't good. How did I accommodate that? How did I accept that? And you learn from it. And when you're going to a new relationship, you know those red flags already, or you know those do's and don'ts already, because you've been through that experience, and it's taught you to know what you want for yourself and what you don't want for yourself. So there is some positivity to heartbreak if you look at it from that perspective. So it helps you to have a clearer sense of what you want in life moving forward, and in a relationship moving forward, and with a renewed sense of self-worth. That means you know who you are. You love yourself. And you know that, okay, this heartbreak is not going to be the end of me. This heartbreak is not going to bring me down. Yeah, it's painful. Yeah, it's a hard thing to go through, but it's not going to be the end of me. And I'm not going to lose myself because I've just gone through this. You might have to reinforce those words of encouragement for yourself to hear, so you can heal faster, if I may put it that way. So guys, I want to hear from us. You can send an invite shortly. I'm just going to give us a concluding part to this topic. Heartbreak. I talked about what heartbreak is and how we can overcome heartbreak. I talked about the effect of it and how we can overcome it. So in my conclusion, I'm going to say this. Heartbreak is a universal experience. So if you leave one country to travel to another country thinking you will never, ever go through a heartbreak in a new country, I tell you, you lie. You're joking, because that country's got its own heartbreaks ready, steady, waiting for you. So it's a universal experience that everybody at some point in time will probably go through. And if you haven't gone through, or you may never go through it, well, congratulations to you. So, like I said, whilst it's deeply painful, can also be a catalyst for growth and self-discovery. So, by understanding the emotional, the physical, the psychological impacts of heartbreak, and by employing healthy coping mechanisms. Remember I said healthy, because there's so many unhealthy ways of coping. We don't want that. We want the healthy ways of coping. we can then navigate this challenging experience and come out stronger on the other side. You come out stronger. You come out even more emotionally stronger, physically stronger in all ways, and that's what experience, teaches us really. So remember, it's okay to seek help and learn on others, from others. Lean on them as well for support during this time. Don't shut yourself out of the world. Don't stop socializing because you're grieving or your heart is broken or whatever it may be. Mary K or MK, sorry, thanks for joining. Anton, I see you. So healing is a journey, and with time and support, thank you, Onoye, thank you so much, we can all find our way to a place of peace and new beginnings. Yes, new beginnings. If you see heartbreak as a new beginning, you will find some sort of peace in there. It's not the end of the world. Sue, thanks for joining. Thank you, Onoye. Oh, thank you so much for the gift. God bless you. Really appreciate that. So it's not the end of the world. It's painful. Nobody really wants to go through it, but it's something that you cannot control. And even if you think you're in control, how about the other person in that relationship? They might just break it off and you don't have control over what other people will do. But you're going through it because they've initiated it. You have to go through the pain. Don't be in denial. You have to go through the process of healing. And don't be in denial as well. Don't suppress your emotion. If you feel like crying, cry. If you feel like shouting, find an open space, a park where there's no much people, and scream if you have to. Just let the pain out somehow. Don't bottle it in, because otherwise it starts affecting you mentally, emotionally, physically, psychologically. You don't want all of that, because it's painful. Like I said, it's sad. I've been there, here and there, different aspects of life. I shared, when I lost my sister, I shared that with us. Some say you should cry. When everybody was crying, I was just laughing for whatever reason. I don't know where the laughter came from. Nothing was funny. It was in the hospital, and they quickly had to stay around me to see whether I was going to flip over or somersault or what, I don't know. But I was just laughing uncontrollably. And that was my way of coping, because I just couldn't, my mind will not, that picture I was seeing right in front of me, compared to the last picture, my memory of her, where we were, traveling the world, I'm like, it doesn't tally. No, this is a joke. Maybe that was what was going on in my mind. I don't know. And I just started laughing, and the pastor came close, kind of, Fumi, are you okay? I couldn't talk. I was just laughing. Until I got to that moment where it stuck for me. And then I started crying, like my sister's going, because there's no chance she was going to come out of that life support machine, and I'm like, is that the end? That's just the end. I'll never see her again. Because she's always the one. She would just book my ticket and say, for me, meet me in UK. We're going to da-da-da. I'm like, without planning, no. She's spontaneous. She was the life of the party. She was everything fun you can think of. And I'm like, just like that, she's gone. No, you must be kidding. So I know, depending on that experience, our reaction to it might be different. You might even surprise yourself, because I surprised myself. I had to laugh before crying, hearing the death of a loved one. So you can imagine. Don't be ashamed. Own your emotion. Whatever comes for you, just go with the flow so you can heal in that process as well. Whatever it is, don't be ashamed. Like I said, if you feel like screaming, scream. Find a space and scream. If you feel like crying, sob everything. Let it all come out. That way you will heal faster. Trust me, you will heal faster. And don't bottle it in. It does more harm. So that is the end of my talk. It's okay to seek help. It's okay to lean on others around for support when you're going through the heartbreak. Don't go through it alone, please. It's not healthy. I hope I've been able to help one way or another, and I really want to hear from you guys. Please send an invite, and don't forget, shortly I'm going to be bringing my puzzle. So my puzzle today is a tongue twister, because like I said, we need to kind of wind down a bit. after talking serious talk, heartbreak for that matter. So I have my questions with for us today. Apart from you sharing whatever you want to share, my question is: can heartbreaks be a good thing to experience? What do you think? Can heartbreak be a good thing to experience? And my second question is: can one fully recover from a heartbreak? I wonder. Wow.
Bringing hope and make you feel alright.
I wonder.
The promise, the future.
So guys, I really want to hear from you. VFem, I see you. Thanks for joining. Send an invite, or better still, let's see. Let's talk about this. How do we deal with heartbreaks? How can we cope? What did you do when you went through your heartbreak? Whatever the experience was, what were the things that you did, that helped you through that process of healing? Whether to make it faster or to help you just process things constructively. Was it healing, on the go? You just shook it off and that's it. You were good to go. Or how did you cope? I really want to hear from us today. Yeah.
The promise, the future, and life.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you guys. Really appreciate.
Shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love.
Oh, thank you.
Hope inside. Inside. Bringing hope and make you feel alright.
Yes, that's the whole idea.
Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life.
Thank you, VFem. I see you. I really would want to hear your perspective on this topic. Heartbreak. I wanted to put the emoji of a heart, that is broken in two. And it was telling me, oh, emoji not allowed. I'm like, oh, we'll see. So I tried it once, twice, it wouldn't let me. So I just had to put that in there. So I'm talking about heartbreaks today. And I want us to kind of discuss that. Can heartbreaks be a good thing to experience? I don't know. And again, can one fully recover from a heartbreak? For some people, especially if it's like a love relationship. Emmy Love, you're welcome. I don't know, Emmy Love, if you want to share anything that comes to mind when you think about this topic, heartbreak, today, please feel free to send an invite. Let us talk about this today. I've talked about what heartbreak is or what it could be. I've talked about the effect it has on anyone and everyone who goes through it. And of course, some coping mechanisms that people can do or, plan to do so that they can go through that healing process constructively and healthily. It is well, Lady D. Thanks for joining. Yeah, let's see. I want to hear from us today. How did we cope? Have you ever been through a heartbreak? How did you cope? Or how can we cope? What can we do? We just go with the flow, or is that the end of us? Somebody has broken our heart. Should we leave it broken? Should we not try to put it back together and try to continue living life? Because as human, we just have to keep living life. Are you not? Thanks for joining. I want to hear from you today. Let's hear what's your take on this topic. Emmy Love, I don't know if you can speak wherever you are. If not, you can type on there. I will try to read it out. Hopefully it's not too fast. I'll try to read it out what your take is on the topic. Heartbreak. Heartbreak. Yeah, I know. Lover of good things. Thanks for joining. Hello. I hope you are good. Or maybe you're just on the way to work. I know the time zone, the time difference is, yeah. Thank you so much for joining. God bless you. You're welcome. I've been talking about this topic today. Sounds painful, but we probably have gone through it one point in time. Yeah, firstly, accepting the situation, then comes healing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, we have to accept, because tendency is some people tend to be in self-denial. They don't want to accept what has happened and they prolong that healing process. That's just what it means. So thank you, Emmy Love. Emmy says, firstly, accepting the situation, accept it for what it is. It will come with the pain, the shame, or whatever it comes with. Accept it, and then comes healing. Some people, they can't even come out to say verbally, this is what has just happened. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to say it. How do you intend to heal if you're not accepting that heartbreak that it's really happened? Yeah, Amy, that's true. So they're in denial for, I gave an example of someone who's been in years of relationship and they broke off and that relationship, and then you met them the week after and they're like, oh, I'm in another relationship. I'm like, hello, this relationship of 3-4 years, you've just broken up last week. You're telling me now you're in another relationship this week. How have you healed? Godwin, I see you. Thanks for joining. So some people are like that because their mindset, the way they see themselves, they constantly must be in a relationship. So you broke off a 3-year relationship last week, and by this week, you're in a new relationship. And I'm wondering, how do you intend to do that? How do you want to put the emotion, the feelings, and everything that is requires in that relationship? So this person is obviously in denial. They don't want to accept it. So when you meet them, or whoever has met them like a month ago, they know that, oh, this person is in a relationship. And you now meet them a month after, say, oh, I'm still in a relationship. But then they haven't told you the truth, that they've broken up with the previous person and this is a new relationship. So they are not they are not accepting what has happened. They are in denial, and that new relationship is just a disaster waiting to happen, because the time they would break, maybe that new person will do something that they'll remember and will trigger for them what the ex used to do, and it might not go well at all, and this new person will be wondering, what did I do? What did I say? I didn't do anything. They might not just be able to understand, not knowing that you haven't been honest with yourself, you haven't been honest with them in that relationship. So we need to be we need to be accepting of that. It's painful, trust me, I know. It's very painful, but denying it is not gonna make us heal faster. We have to face it head on. Like I say, whatever emotion comes, if you feel like crying, if you feel like shouting, if you feel like laughing, if you feel like whatever you feel like, just let it out. Don't bottle it in, because this new person you're in a relationship with, they don't even know what you're going through, so they can't even help you, overcome that heartbreak, because you haven't said to them your heart is broken from the previous relationship. So how would they know to help you? So don't make it difficult for the people around you. Thank you, Amy. You're welcome. Let me invite Lover of Good Things, if you're able to speak, sir, wherever you are. Amy Love, how are you?
Hi, good evening. Sorry I couldn't respond to your request because I wanted to be in a quiet place first.
It's fine. Thank you so much for joining me today.
And thank you for bringing up this topic. It's so amazing.
Thank you. So, Amy, please, I saw what you've typed. Thank you so much to read it out. But, you can add more flesh to it and share more from your perspective.
For me, this is this is a very sensitive topic for me because it's something I experienced, and yeah. So when we are talking about breakup, it has a lot of side effects. It has a lot of side effects with dealing with feelings, dealing with emotions, mentally, and dealing with your being as a human. And that was why I said, firstly, you have to accept the situation, because if you are not accepting the situation, it's as if you're denying yourself from healing, and also to be truthful to yourself, or to be truthful as a human first. So if a breaker comes in, first know what led to it. Are you at fault? Is the partner at fault? And sometimes we humans, we tend to not accept it, and thinking, it was a mistake, I can still work it out. But we've seen the end, but we don't just want to accept it. I can still work it out. And the more you're trying to be with this person, trying to work it out, the more you're hurting yourself,
Yeah, that's
which
true.
would have been the time to heal, like a healing process, right? Hi,
Yeah.
Chidex, you're welcome, sweetie. So for me, I think the first thing is, first of all, accepting the situation.
Yeah.
Then, if you feel you cannot deal with the pain, because it comes a lot with traumas, especially when you're with this person for the longest time, and
Yeah.
you've built a lot together, and you're just living with an empty hand. It's something, it's so difficult to understand.
I
It
know.
can break someone mentally, that you will become introvert, not having to do with people outside. You will lose your self-esteem. You wouldn't want to give in into a relationship.
Yeah.
Your personal social life will be closed. Like everything, you don't want to give chance to nobody, because you will feel, when I tell my story, people will not believe me, people will still fought at that. And so in my own experience, I will advise people, because this is what I did, and I felt, let me just keep to myself. Let me not share what happened. I can just heal alone, and through the process, I can build myself and just go back to normal social life. But that wasn't true. That really took the better part of me, that I'm still trying, so difficult to like overcome, finding, not having confidence in other people, and being very sensitive with people, like, because I try to always think, oh, my ex did something like this, or probably this person is started showing sign of what the ex did. I might just judge the person,
I
like,
know.
okay, because he's showing sign, and I didn't have the process of confiding in someone that have experienced it, or someone older, or
Yeah.
someone that is still into a relationship, that can advise me, Amy, it's not so, you did the right thing for talking, for coming out, for walking out of this. So
Yeah.
in all, to conclude, accept it, try and heal, talk to a person, be open about it. It's not something to be ashamed of.
No.
I know the kind of society we have these days, where people are so judgmental, and they cannot keep things, even they cannot keep things to themselves. Like, you can confide the person, and the next thing, everybody's aware of it. So
I know. Oh.
yeah, so accepting and healing is the best process, and not healing so fast, like you need someone else to cover the
So
space. That's not healing, but rather that's hurting yourself the more, and
That's
not
true.
finding true love. You have to heal gradually, in the sense of, to know what happened, what was your wrongs, or what are the things you should have changed, if there was a second chance, or to turn back the hands of time. What would I have done better? Oh, I want to have reacted this way, or this was what prompted to leading of the breakup, if it's coming from my side or from my partner, or how I reacted. Just heal gradually, step by step. Take one thing at a time. And if it's too much, just say it out, cry it out, and not just stuck everything inside and feel, I'm healed, I'm okay, and just laugh over it, because that really didn't help me. I felt, oh, I'm a strong woman. Yes, I can do it alone. And And I was just outside, everybody like, wow, I'm so proud of you. You did an amazing job, you know. But nobody knew the pain and the trauma I was going through deep inside of me. And because I felt people were, oh, Amy, she's so strong, huh? You know, if this woman tell you the things she experienced, but they still did
No.
not understand the pain is still there, the trauma is still there. It hasn't gone because I wasn't able to. But the moment I started saying it out, talk to people about it, it
Mm.
seems a burden has been lifted.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Welcome. There you go, guys. You heard it from her mouth, you know, and I want to believe if you're out there going through a heartbreak right now, this is a way. This is, she said a lot of things today. You can pick one or two things that can work for you as long as you're not bottling your emotions, as long as you're not bottling things up, as long as you're not in denial the fact that this heartbreak has just happened or has happened. You have to face it. I know it's hard, it's painful, all the pain words you can think of, but you want to heal as well. So the quicker you face that fact, the quicker you can start healing as well. And it takes process. Healing is not abrupt. Healing will take time, and give yourself that time to heal. Don't rush it, especially if it's a relationship. Don't jump quickly into another straight away thinking, oh, by the time I'm with somebody new, yeah, I will forget about that person. No, because you still need to heal from that breakup. You need to heal and be in a healthy state of mind to go into another relationship. Otherwise, you're going to hurt that new relationship. You know, you're meant to enjoy, but not bring all of that in without your new person knowing you just, you know, came out of a heartbreak. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow, what an honor to have lover of good things here. Good evening, or is it morning or afternoon? I think it'll be afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. How are you today?
Good afternoon, ma. I'm great, ma.
It's good to have you here. Thank you. I love the fact that you support me, whether on Facebook, whether on Instagram, or whether on TikTok. Thank you so much, sir. I really, really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. I don't know what words to say, but I really, really appreciate your support. Thank you so much, sir. So at least you've heard the topic for today. Maybe we'll bring a man's perspective to the word heartbreak. Maybe there's something we
Yes.
ladies are missing, Amy. I don't know. So
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
lover of good things,
heartbreak
let's hear your
is a
perspective.
very great it's a very great thing.
Mm,
Uh, you see, it's so deep, and every man, every woman,
mm,
either married or yet to be married,
yeah.
should try to avoid this.
Ah,
It doesn't heal quickly. It doesn't heal quickly. I
mm,
mean, sometimes it's a lifetime process
mm.
to be healed.
Wow.
So let's try as much as possible to avoid it.
Mm,
Let all men love their wives, and let all wives respect their husbands. You see, there is one thing I stumbled on from my research.
mm.
Eve is not the first woman created for Adam. There's
Oh,
a
no.
lady, a woman, yes, there's a woman called Lilith. God
Okay.
created Lilith the way he created Adam.
Mm,
I stumbled on it from the Hebrew books. But because of arrogance, that's why God created Eve.
wow. I
He
need to
made
find
Adam
that
to sleep.
research. I need to find it.
Yeah, yeah. Then God made Adam to, sleep and take a rib. God took a rib from his side and
Mm.
created Eve.
Acelia, welcome.
So man doesn't need any love at all.
Mm,
It's respect. If you respect your husband, I'm telling you, there's nothing under the sun he won't be able to do for you.
mm,
You are not equal. You are not. Man and his wife, they are not equal. People are just deceiving themselves. They are not equal. God created man. and
So
it took part of man.
I'm trying to relate that to the heartbreak we're talking about. So
Yes,
are you
I'm coming.
saying that when maybe in a relationship now, if
Mhm.
the woman is not respecting the man, can lead to a heartbreak or
For sure,
oh okay.
absolutely,
Hmm.
and vice versa.
Okay.
If the man doesn't love his wife, it could lead to a breakup.
Hmm. Okay.
It could lead to a breakup. Heartbreak. We should try. That's why in our own days they ask us to go for counseling in the church.
Hmm.
You go for counseling, they will tell you marriage is not that everything will be smooth. You just have to,
It's not a bed of
there are two,
roses.
yeah, bed of roses. There are two identities, two people coming together from different backgrounds. So don't expect too much from your wife and don't expect too much from your husband. Just have to come together and work it out.
Hmm.
Guys, no man is perfect. No man is perfect. And no woman is perfect
No.
as well. It's only God that can claim perfection.
Hmm.
So I'm begging those who are yet to marry to please avoid heartbreak by all costs, at all means, because it will take a lifetime to heal.
Wow, that's even deep.
I'm telling you, if anybody tell you that it will heal, just
True.
forget about it, global. It's a lie.
That's
It's
true.
a lie. You
Wow.
cannot you cannot compare someone you marry at your youthful age
Hmm.
with somebody you just met after many years. It's not not possible. It's not comparable.
You're technically answering my second question, I believe, because I said, can one fully recover from a heartbreak?
Well,
Um,
nothing is impossible.
it depends
Nothing
on
is impossible.
individually.
It,
Okay.
well, nothing is impossible. One, it
Amy, I'll
depends
come back to you
on
on
the
that. Yeah.
individual. Yes, it depends on individual. Number
Okay.
two, we are not equally endowed. Some people can, I mean, absorb
Yeah.
easily,
Yeah,
and
that's
some people it will lead to mental illness.
yeah. I mentioned that as well. Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I say they advise us during our own days
Hmm.
that we should not expect too much from each other, and we should quickly forgive each other.
Hmm.
But whereby there's the thing is getting out of hand, you
Yeah.
try all you can, and nothing works out. It's better you separate than
Hmm.
so one killing the other. We've seen so
Oh,
many couples,
pieces. Yeah.
you know, killing themselves.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
won't I won't advise anybody to stay in such marriage. If the things doesn't work out and you tried all you could, yet
Hmm.
you can't come together. It's better you separate.
Thank you, Amy.
He who fights and run away live to fight another day.
Another day. Wow, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, yeah. I won't advise anybody to stay in such marriage. A marriage that
This
will
exception.
you will die,
Hmm.
someone will kill you. No, it's better you leave.
Hmm. Good evening, Mr.
So,
Exceptional. You're welcome.
but let us avoid it. Heartbreak is not a good thing. It's not. It's not. We should at all means, I mean, by all means and at all costs, we should avoid it. If we are married,
Hmm. But number of good things. There's a twist to this topic because my first question is: can heartbreaks be a good thing to experience?
say that again.
I said, can heartbreaks be a good thing to experience?
Uh, well, to me, that's my own opinion. I don't know any other person's opinion. It's not a good experience. It's not.
Hmm.
It's not.
But what about
That's
the
why I
things
say we
you
should avoid
learn?
it.
What about the things you learn from it?
Uh, well, you learn certain things that will be useful to you if God permits you to have a second chance of having a good woman or a good man.
Mm.
Well, there are lessons.
Thank
There are
you.
lessons. You are right. There are lessons that one can, could learn out of it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Mm. That's true. That's
It's a
true.
public domain. I cannot. There are certain things I cannot say now
I
because it's
get
a
you.
public domain.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will have told you so many things,
Mm.
but I can't say it.
But we've learned
I
from the
can use.
ones you've shared. So thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Exceptional, thank you for
And
joining.
thank you
But
very much.
thank you, sir.
I will
Really,
never
thank you.
forget what you did for me during my, 60th birthday.
What
You
did
are the
I
only
do?
one that you are the only one that did a very big thing for me on the Facebook. And I
Oh,
still I put that thing at the back of my mind that anything that I can do to help
oh,
I will always do it. Even
oh.
leaving job for you to come onto your program, I will do it.
Thank you so much, sir. That means a lot. That
I'm very
means a lot.
grateful.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. I appreciate you, and I pray that you will grow from strength to strength, from glory to
Amen.
glory. In
Amen.
Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen.
My love and appreciation to your family.
Thank you so much, sir. Really, really appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
You are welcome.
Thank you so much for your submission. I appreciate the prayers. It goes a long way. Trust me, sir. Thank you so much. And I know that God will continue to keep us all so that we continue to support one another and encourage one another, because sometimes, social media has its own. Let's not even go there now. I'm coming to you, Mr. Exceptional. But before I do, Amy, I feel this itchy in my uh in my ear. Maybe you want to say one or two things before I call on Mr. Exceptional, based on where Lover of Good Things took us to. So I don't know if you want to say one or two things before I call on Mr. Exceptional.
Is it about if breakup is a good thing or is
Yeah,
it a good thing to
anyone, any
experience?
one of those talks. Yeah, anyone.
I would say 50-50 because
Okay.
um, firstly, I will go with it's a good thing to experience and it comes along also with its negativity.
Mm,
Yeah. And it takes the grace of God to come out from such a trauma
mm,
or tragic experience because a lot of people's experience are not same.
yeah.
Some came out with fighting for their lives. Some
Mm,
came out or experienced breakup with zero, like starting life from scratch.
that's true.
Some it's with kids that they need to be responsible for.
Mm,
Why some just it's normal relationship or courtship, but some it's true marriage. So but in as much as it's good, I think one should also pray to learn because not everyone that experienced
heartbreak.
breakup
Mm,
see it as a good lesson for the next relationship or for the future.
okay.
Some will still going to tumble and make same mistake, or
Mm,
some will see same mistake and still accept it for the fear of not being alone.
that's true.
So it takes when someone experience a thing like this,
Yeah.
one needs to pray, align to Lord, I want to my lessons. I
Mm,
want to learn positive lessons, not negative, because there are some when they are out from a breakup, they were so gentle, but they become very aggressive
mm,
because of the shock.
okay.
They become aggressive with people around them. They become aggressive with people trying to come close to them because they've drawn a line.
Mm,
People shouldn't cross. It's like they build a cage for themselves and
mm,
they don't want nobody to come close. So it takes the grace of God. It's good to experience it because one, you be awake.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is a danger sign, this is a sign that I don't even want to,
Mm,
because there are some, if they don't experience it, they wouldn't know the
yeah.
signs and the do's and don'ts, right?
Mm-hmm.
But some, even after experiencing it, they still don't get the lessons, they still don't get nothing. So I will leave my option as 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I
Thank
respond to
you.
that? Can I respond?
Yes, sir. Please, sir. Mr. Exceptional, thank you for your
Yeah.
patience. I'm coming to you
I
soon.
thank the last speaker, and I respect your opinion. But my advice is better we learn from other people's mistake, not our own mistake, not our own doing. We should be I mean, when it comes to heartbreak, it's better
Mm,
we learn from other people.
yeah, well,
Not
true.
There's
Part of
nothing
it.
good in heartbreaking. Nothing. It
Mm.
could even lead to mental issue. I'm telling you.
It's one of the things I mentioned. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it could lead to mental issue that one won't be able to get out of for the rest of his or her life. It's better we learn from other people's mistakes
Mm,
when
yeah.
it comes to this type of an issue. There's nothing good in it. Heartbreak. It's not good.
Mm. So one of the things that I mentioned, I hear you and I really appreciate your submission. Like Emily said, 50-50. Because the thing is, imagine it's just a courtship and you thought in your heart this person is going to be your bone of bone, flesh of flesh, and all of that. And then towards the end, you're getting serious in that relationship, and then you now
Mhm.
start seeing this person, their self that they've been what's the word, covering from you, and now you're beginning to see and you're thinking, can you
Well,
actually spend the rest of your life with this person? I think that can
that that does
a breakup.
that doesn't no, that will not cause you heartbreak. You have to
Somebody
withdraw
you've been
strategically. I'm
dating for
telling you,
4 or 5 years.
nothing has been involved. No ring yet. He has not put a ring on you, in your finger.
I
I
know people.
Nothing
disagree
has
with you,
happened.
sir. I disagree with you,
No.
sir.
Ah,
Can I come in for
I'm
this,
telling
sir?
you. Are you saying the person should go in for the marriage?
No, that's what I'm saying. There'll be a breakup and their hearts will be broken.
Yeah,
And this can lead
yeah.
them to not even wanting to get married again.
Thank you, host.
Ah,
That was what I
no,
was going to
no,
say.
no, no, no,
I
no.
can cite so many of those
Sir,
that I know. Mary A, you're
um,
welcome.
lover of
Look,
grace. I'm
I
I'm
don't
going to
know. Well,
tell.
I'm not from my own Christian background.
Mm,
If such thing happen,
mm.
your best bet is to go for counseling. You don't have to, I mean, break down your system because you've seen it. You've
That
seen
they've
what
But
is
beaten
ahead of
you
you.
the
down.
pain has been built. So the reason she needs to go for a counseling is to heal.
Mhm.
The pain is already there, sir. She have
She was in
Okay,
experienced it.
love.
okay. Let's,
So
my
I'm going to
sister,
tell you a story, sir.
compare that to someone who has been in the marriage for the past 25 years
Hmm.
with kids.
That person can even heal faster than the one that was in a courtship. I'm telling you, sir, because I'm saying this out of experience. So I'm going to tell you a story. And
Well,
this story is, this young lady met this young man and they were dating. From dating, they got engaged, and she was so young at the age of 20. This
Hmm.
happened, and he was 39, right?
Wow.
So she felt, because her dream was to
Thank
get married even before she graduated, finish her diploma and stuff, right?
you.
She just wanted to follow like the lineage from the family.
Yeah.
Like her mom got married very early, her sisters got married in their early 20s, and she just wanted to follow that line. And she was living a good life. And this man said, okay, you have to come over to my country to visit me. The engagement has been there, and she was thanking God that God has really answered her prayers. She has found a faithful man, a man who is working, a man who loves her, and a man who listens to her, adore her. Everything was going smoothly. But what happened is along the line, when he went back home to do the introduction, because she was
Yeah.
studying abroad. Both of them, they were staying abroad, right? So he went back home to do the introduction, knocking off the door. I'm asking the hand of your daughter. So, and the plan was
The
after she
marriage.
finished the semester for that year, she will go back home. They will go back home and do the normal traditional stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
Marriage.
along the line, she was 3 months pregnant, and she wasn't aware she was 3 months pregnant. Why? She was seeing a monthly stuff. It was coming. So it was the 3 months and a half, like going to the fourth month, she
Yeah.
knew because she was so young in a foreign country. So she didn't understood. Then close to the fourth month, she knew she was pregnant, and she quickly called her man, like, "Oh, we are expecting a child." He was so happy that he took the next available flight to come down, knelt down, being so grateful that she's pregnant. Okay. And they started like going together, the journey of the pregnancy, like the big surprise. And she was so scared because she's at the peak of her life with schooling and everything. And she was thinking, okay, the best thing is we are not going to inform the guest parents. We have to do everything because she would be the first person from her lineage getting pregnant when she's not married, right? So they both agreed on keeping it a secret.
Okay.
I'm saying this because I know the person that this thing happened to, right? Very close person to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after he went back home, okay, I need to inform my family. So he went back home to Nigeria that he was going to inform his own family, like, okay, you people should get ready. I have to go do the traditional stuff for this lady living with me as my wife and this before the child is born, because that was the agreement. He went back home. She was waiting. She already called her family. Oh, this boy is coming with the family, but I don't know when or so. What happened? She was waiting for 3 days. This man did not call for 3 days, sir. He didn't call. And the fourth day he called, he said, "Oh, there was a kidnapping stuff and this, that from Lagos to my state, and but thank God everything is okay. They stole my phone." Yo, she's gullible. She believed him because she had no reason to doubt him.
So
No
doubt
reason.
you.
So when he came back to their base, she saw the message. According to her story, she saw the message a lady sent to the man, like, "Oh, we had so much fun, we did this, we did that, and oh, when are you coming to see my people?" She was so broken that she started bleeding and she almost lose the child. So the shock was
Well,
just too much, and she said, "I needed
well,
to go stay in a friend's house. It's coming to an end." So far so good, and with all the he tried, though it was just nothing serious. I was alone, blah 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 and stuff. And
Shame
the
indeed.
next thing,
well, my
they broke
sister,
up. They broke up. And till
my sister.
tomorrow, the lady has still not healed from that pain. She has
Well,
never, for the past 9 years, gotten into a relationship.
Wow.
For the past, they were not married. She has never, she's raising that child alone. She still cannot let go. She said, "I've forgiven him. He's married now with 3 kids. He
Wow.
has moved on with his life, but she's still alone in that pain." She's doing so well for herself. Things are going, the child is okay and stuff. And like the child and the dad has their own relationship and stuff. But still, whenever you talk about a man issue, let's go out, let me introduce,
Not
she
having it.
doesn't want to because of
well,
that pain. So when you're saying, sir, that it sometimes people it's good, you can, that is not a breakup. There are people that are not
no,
married
no,
that
no, no, no,
they
no.
got broke
I
up,
didn't.
that they
My
had
sister,
pain,
there are
they've not
these.
healed.
Our cases are different from each other. I didn't know she's already pregnant, or she was already pregnant. I'm talking about somebody who has not yet got pregnant.
Hmm.
In your own case now, the
There's
lady
so
is
many
pregnant.
cases.
There are so many cases. My
Amy,
late sister, my late sister was dating a guy. I'm telling, this is my, the last time I came to your
Well, there's
live
nothing
for me,
impossible. I agree
I
with you.
told you
There's
about my story,
nothing
right?
impossible.
I used my sister's story that I
yeah.
couldn't call her when she died.
Mm-hmm.
The procrastination, that was the
Yeah.
topic of
Yeah.
this day. So, sir, I'm telling you about my story now. My immediate elder sister dated the guy for 5 years. This guy has nothing. Like, she supported this man back and forth with everything she had. She supported this man. They built a business together. Things were going okay. Got engaged to my sister. She had her own business. He has his own business. After 5 years, for no reason, this I'm telling you about my own blood sister. For no reason, he broke up with my sister. He couldn't tell the reason and said, she's not good. My sister cried and cried. And after 3 months, he got married. But
Wow.
did you know, because of the pain, she wasn't fully healed, and because of that shame, because everybody knew that my sister was the leader of the chorister in my church. She
Mm.
went for counseling, as you said, but she couldn't heal
Mm.
inside, but outside she was smiling. Everybody felt she has healed. And that pain led her. She left the family church and went to another branch, but same church, apostolic.
Yeah.
So the choir she has known from her birth till she's an adult, the youth choir she's handling. She left
Well,
everything because this man was still in that same branch. She moved
Oh.
to another church. She didn't get to know her husband for so long. They got married. And after 3 years, she died because she did heal and she needed somebody else to like, okay, I'm not alone. She's my sister. This is my blood, same mother, same father. She didn't heal. Even, oh, a man just came. She didn't get to know her husband and they got married.
Mm.
And well, I don't want to talk about the details how she died and so, but sir, there are some situations that are more drastic than those that are married. I'm telling you, sir.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
So you see, we're here on Insight. We
I agree with
learn.
you.
We learn, sir.
Yeah,
But where
Nobody
prayer
knows it
comes in,
all.
prayer, prayer comes in. That's where prayer comes in. The spiritual part of it. Things
Mm.
happened. I agree with you.
Mm. Well, in fact, you've taken us even deeper and further deeper. And thank you so much, Amy, for always sharing these life experiences. Because, like we say, a lot of people are on the FY page listening now, and they might just be going through the same thing and they're struggling to move on. It's been years and years, and it seems like the pain is fresher every day. People take things
true.
differently. People take
Mm-hmm.
things differently. The way I will heal will be different from the way you will heal. The way you will heal will be
Right,
different from the way I will heal. And that's why
right,
you see
right, right.
there is no one cap fits all when you talk about this heartbreak at all. At all. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for that. Oh God. Let me come back again to you, sir. But let me hear Mr. Exceptional because he's been patient enough to wait and let us kind of talk it out. Mr. Exceptional, good evening to you or
I'm
good day.
listening. I'm listening. Good evening, ma.
Welcome. Thanks for joining in today. I don't know where you're going to take us to with this topic today. So please, the floor is yours. Thank you. I hope you're still there, Mr. Exceptional.
I was.
Yes, we
Can
can.
you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. Okay. Um. It's very. That story from Emmy Love was very, very, very painful. Very,
I know. And it's a real
very
life
touching.
story.
Very.
Yeah.
Um, yes. Sorry.
It's
My
all right.
network is networking.
I can see
All
the
right.
difference.
So, you You asked the question if heartbreak is it a good thing to experience. It's not a good thing at all. It's not something one prays to experience. It's not something one prays for someone to experience at all. Not even for your enemy. You don't wish your enemy to go through such trauma. All right. Go through. You don't. So because I can't, I don't know, I'm only seeing the topic there, and I was able to just speak from what I came to meet, the discussion I came to meet. Okay, now the late Emily Love, she was talking about um, a relationship that has not gotten into marriage. Along the line, the lady got pregnant, and at the end of the day, they didn't turn out to be couples, and that has affected the lady to the extent that she has blocked the heart to love. And these things, they happen. It doesn't really needs to be it doesn't really needs to happen when two people are already in a marriage, in a relationship, because we are all different. All right, we are all different, and so the way I may be able to chest some things, but the other person may not be able to chest it.
That's true.
So, and that's the reason why we must be conscious. All right, we must be conscious of what we do, and how we involve in what we are doing. We learn every day in life, but nobody will want to go into the school of heartbreak. It's a school, but nobody wants to go through that school, or you don't want anybody to go through that school. It's just like losing a loved one. Nobody wishes to go through that school. Even a old woman whose husband passed on at the age of 100, she would tell you she still do not want to go through that. If she had to choose, she would want the person to stay behind. So heartbreak can cause a lot of things. Imagine that lady, she didn't pray not to give a love a chance. She didn't pray it one day not to give love a chance, but because of situations, because of circumstances, because of incidents, because of things that she has gone through in a relationship, she's like, I'm done. I'm done. And that's is one bad state to be, because no matter who talks to you, somebody will say, if Jesus will come before me now, I will not listen. It's that bad sometimes, when you hear people, and it takes the intervention of the supernatural, for that person to rethink. And because the person is like an orientation. The person just pick an orientation from his or her experience, and says, that's how it is out there, so I don't want to put myself in that circle anymore. And then, when such a thing happens to somebody that like that, you just leave the person, and all you just need to do is continually maybe advising the person, and then maybe go further spiritually and pray for the person. Otherwise, there's no other thing you can do. You can push a horse, you can drag the horse to the water, but you can't force the horse to drink the water. All right. And it's as a result of the bad experience the person has gone through in that heartbreak. Now, then, when you now talk about in marriage, you know, it's mentally draining, you know, then it affects a lot of things in your life. It affects a lot of things. It will affect how you interact with people. It will affect how you see people. How you even it can get to the extent that you were a good person, you know, but because of the bad experience that you've had, you start dishing out. You don't know when you be dishing out bad advice
And
to
people
a
tend to
friend.
judge you for that.
Yes, and yes, people tend to judge you for that, not knowing where you are coming from. You know, the society, they don't know where you are coming from, but they tend to not judge you based on what you said you don't want to do, or your action that you have taken, you know. And so, like I was saying, so you find that at the end of the day, the person is dishing out a wrong advice to his or her friend, not intentionally, but because of what that person
Out
has
of
gone
that
through.
bitter experience, I know.
Thank you. Because of that bitter experience. So when you are not bringing relationship situation to the person is giving you, you know, is giving you the opposite. You are like, and if you are not careful, that's the reason why we must be careful, you know,
Yeah.
about what you take, the advice that you take. Everybody will advise you, but at the end of the day, you need to
Reflect on
ponder
it.
on what
Yeah.
on it. Yes, you need to ponder on it and reason out for yourself, because the truth is everyone for himself. That's the truth. Life is, they said life is per head. Okay, but in rounding up, heartbreak is not something, not number one, it's not something we pray for. It's not something we wish for. And so it's not something we wish for anybody, for our neighbor, for our loved ones, even for our enemy. And so when that situation come, when somebody is in that circle, the best that we can do, you know, is just to give an advice, encourage the person, and then pray for the person. Only the person knows where it hurts. He says, "He who wears the shoe that knows where it hurts." So, and in rounding up, like Emmy Love was talking, we should, as much as possible, try not to judge the person, because you don't know what that person has gone through. If you were in that person's shoe, maybe you would have even done worse, or
Worse. Who
think
knows?
worse
Yeah.
than the person.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you.
Can
Getting
I,
even more
can I
interesting
get in
by the
something from
minute.
what you said?
Sir?
Can I come in? Can I come in?
Okay, sir.
I
I'm
thank the
coming to
last
you, God's
speaker.
favorite and Mary. Yes, sir, please.
Yeah, thank you, the last speaker. But there are certain things we should guard against that I've seen that always cause this breakup in marriage. The mother-in-laws, the sister-in-laws, all these people, when they come in, I've seen a lot. There's no way any woman will satisfy these people. There's no way, unless those who are godly among them. I've seen a lot that they will go back home and give report to their parents that this is how my brother's wife is doing over there. This is what he's doing. This is what he's doing. This is what he's doing. We cannot do this. We cannot do that. You know? So that's why we must guide against all this. The man is the head of the family. He has to pray more. And, you know, take care of his wife very, very, very more. Don't listen too much to the family, to his family, because they will spoil things for him.
I know.
I've seen a lot
We've seen that happen over and over again, where you
over
ask
and
the couple
over. This
one year
sister-in-law,
to your
this
breakup.
sister-in-law, they're always jealous, jealous of the wife, most especially the man
In fact,
in
thank you, sir.
the,
That's another
yeah.
another perspective to where breakup can come from in-laws,
Yes, mother-in-laws, sister-in-laws.
all
They
the
are terrible.
in-laws. Now, wow, God will help us. Thank you, sir, for sharing that.
Amen.
Especially if that man cannot hold his home together, they will break the man apart, let alone the marriage. So men, our women, if not just men alone, our women as well, we need to do this thing together. Hold on to your spouse, your husband, your wife. I don't know why we're going more into the relationship when we're talking about heartbreak. And I try to put perspective to it because it's not just relationship alone. You face heartbreak. I was sharing mine that when I lost my sister, my heart broke into pieces. And it took me a while to pick up myself. But you find out that when you hear the word heartbreak, the first thing that comes to mind is relationship, which I quite understand because every society have relationships, marriages, and what have you. So that readily comes to mind. And we're saying this for the benefit of those who are there, who are probably, they're okay in their relationship, but they also have gone through a heartbreak. It could be from a friend, it could be from a family member, or what have you. So we don't want to just focus on marriage alone, but you can see the way the trending of our discussion tends to be going into that relationship, that marriage. But it's allowed because we're learning a lot from all our discussions. So thank you so much. I'm gonna come to you, God's favorite. Thank you so much for joining. How are you today? You have to unmute because I've had to mute you when you came in. God's favorite, I hope you're still there. Please, we don't want any network issue today. If you're there, we want to hear from you. Or you can tap on the screen if you can't speak at the moment, so I would know. We still have a few more minutes. Okay, whilst we're waiting for God's favorite, I don't know who wants to attempt my puzzle, my tongue twister puzzle for today. If you can say it fast without blabbing, you get the gift for today. And this one is very easy. You can even Google it and see it. But it's when you're now saying it, that's where the answer lies. So if you know the tongue twister Betty Butter, I think a couple of months back, we did the Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper, and you have to say that fast without blabbing, so you get to win the prize for today. So maybe we should cool things down a bit before I come to God's favorite. If you're ready to speak, please, you can tap on there so I will know. Otherwise, I'm just trying to make sure that there's no more space or silence at the moment. So the tongue twister for today is the Betty Butter. You can Google it. Let the Google bring it out. Come and attempt it. Betty Butter bought some butter, but she said her butter is bitter. If I put it in my butter, it will make my butter bitter, but a bit of better butter, better than my bitter butter. And she put it in her butter, and the butter was not bitter. So it was Betty better butter, but a bit of better butter. If you can say it as fast as I did, at least you get the gift for today. Otherwise, there it goes.
I can't do that. So I'm out of it.
You can't. You don't even want to try at all. Okay, God keeps
No.
with children, feeding them. Okay, thank you
Oh,
so much for joining still.
yeah, bitter butter. Let me if you say it again.
Emmy, do you want to try it? You want to attempt it? It's funny, but I throw the challenge out there. So if you want to attempt it, the floor is yours. Mr. Exceptional, do you want to try it? It's very funny, but let's see who is gonna dare me as well to it. Amazing. So please find the tongue twister Betty Butter and come and say it out to us here without blabbing and as fast as possible. Wow, it's been some sort discussion today, and I'm so grateful.
I'm going to try. I'm trying. Yeah, so let's go.
Okay.
Awesome. Betty butter, bitter butter, but the butter Betty bought was bitter. So Betty butter a better butter, and it was better than the bitter butter.
Oh, where did you get that version? That's too short.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether to laugh now or to clap. So what do you think? Love or good things? Mr. Exceptional, should we give it to her? Mary, what do you think? Should we give it to her? She tried. At least she
I try.
Yeah, yeah, we
okay.
should give it to her. If there's no other person
Let's
trying
give
to,
it
I
to her.
mean,
We'll
that's
give it to her.
give
What
it
She
to
about
has
her.
done well.
me? Where's my own donuts? I tried it. Okay. So I'm gonna give you one donut and one ice cream because you got the shortest version ever.
Hey,
Okay. Thank you.
but I learned something. Thank you. But I learned something as well.
Oh, thank
Betty
you.
butter twisted tongue.
Tongue twister. You know, the version that I've had to go through, which is the most common one, has to do with her buying the butter and, with her bitter butter and putting it in the butter. The other time we tried pickle, Peter Pepper picked the peck. Nobody. I think Mary tried, but she kind of in between, but we had to give it to her just like we did today. But thank you for attempting.
Thank you.
Maybe Mr. Exception, I will try the next one. I don't know. He's not even going to try. So, yeah, before we round up, we have about 10 more minutes. And God's favorite. I don't know, you say you're feeding the children. Oh, God bless. Thank you for doing that. You might, yeah, Mary, she tried. Yeah, Emmy tried. Thank you so much for the attempt. So you can type on the screen if you have anything you want us to kind of share. If you're not able to talk, God's favorite. Mary, are you not going to share with us today on this topic? I don't know, your network is just throwing you back and forth on the TikTok street. We're talking about heartbreak, and two questions I asked after giving my talk is, can heartbreaks be a good thing to experience? And also, can one fully recover from a heartbreak? You see, these questions, there is no yes or there is no no, because it varies from individual to individual. I may recover fully, my neighbor might not recover fully. I may see it, wow, after the crying, come to think of it, I wipe my tears away. I'm like, it's a good thing. I've learned this good thing. I've learned, oh my God. When I'm going into another, I know what not to accept, or I know what not to do, or things like that. You might see that, I don't know, maybe after you've recovered fully, you can see the good of that breakup. I don't know, maybe. And for some people, it just carries this bitter experience, like a bitter pill to swallow. And for years and years and years, some people just never recover from it. And like I said, it depends on what it is. For me, I was trying to remember, 2009 was when I lost my older sister. Now I miss her. I try to remember, like on her birthdays and things like that. But you won't find me crying like that year she passed on, that I laughed and cried and all of that. I won't cry as such, but I just have my moments and just remember her, remember all the fun times and things like that. So I've recovered. Have I fully recovered? Of course, I'm never going to see my sister until death, maybe. And I don't know how long that is going to be. Of course, I miss her and all, but I don't know whether I fully recovered, to be honest, because I miss her. I miss her so much, all the fun bits and all of that. So talking about losing a loved one, because it breaks your heart. Nobody wants to lose their loved ones, no matter how old they get. And she even passed when she was quite young. So yeah, well, there is no grief. There is no grief or sorrow that is not lessened by the lapse of time. Thank you, lover of good things. Yeah. So it's kind of a lesson for me, but I still feel it. I miss her so much, and all that. So now imagine a breakup where you've shared your life together, you've planned life, how things is gonna be. But one thing I'll always say, this one I will say it, a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage. That much I know I can say, because it's better you break that relationship before you put a ring on it than having invested years and years, children even. Some people, they've started having their grandchildren, and now they're calling it quits after 40 years. I mean, who that heartbreak, that one you will carry to your grave, I think, for all those years, decades and decades. And just like that, somebody's telling you they don't want you anymore. That kind of heartbreak, I don't know if that person can ever fully recover from it. Yeah, God's favorite. I totally agree. Yeah, it's true, you know. So it's, I don't know, Mary, I tried to bring you up again, but I don't know whether it's not even having it all together. I really want to hear from you before we go. God's favorite. I don't know if you have anything you wanna say more, or you're able to speak now.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Good
And what
evening, everyone.
good evening.
Exceptional. How are you doing? Good evening. So, what I'm going to say is heartbroken is real, yeah.
Yeah, good
But
evening,
the
ma.
downfall
Good to
of a
see you here,
man,
ma.
thank you. Downfall of a man is not the end of his life. Life is a lesson, it's a process. One thing is that in life we pass through many things because we are in the world, not of the world. We are living in the world. So many things will come and pass away.
Mm,
But then it is in your hand to decide that you are not going to let the same thing that happened to you to keep you on one place.
yeah, yeah.
Because you still have tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
The dead, for the dead,
Yeah,
they have, it is only the living, the people that are alive.
yeah.
They are the only people that are still hoping for tomorrow, hoping for the future.
Mm-hmm.
But the dead, they don't. So as long as you are alive,
Thank you, lover of good things. God bless
something
you.
that
Okay,
that
Thursday.
have pain you, affected you, you should not allow it to break you because you have only one life and you will still have to give account of the one you are living. As long as you are alive, one thing that is sure that
Mm,
your tomorrow, you will never have a better yesterday, but you'll have a better tomorrow.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So because tomorrow will be better
Mm,
and you have hope for the and you have hope for the future. So that's the more reason you should allow the tomorrow to be better for you because you don't know what your tomorrow is about.
exactly. Yeah.
You will not allow where they kept you for them to come back and meet you that particular place. But you have to move on. If you cannot walk, run. If you cannot run,
Oh,
crawl. Because if you don't do any and be stagnant, they will still come back and meet you where you are.
yeah.
So it's better you move on. Yeah, I lost my immediate senior sis last 6 years ago. But then that's not the end. I wish that I know that she's sick, but when I had it, it's the following day she's gone.
Mm,
I spoke with her today. The day I had it, the following day she's gone. I never knew she had passed through that for a very long time. You know, she hid it from everyone.
mm,
But then, um, it's painful, yeah, when you remember that it's your sibling, when you remember
mm-hmm.
everything that you had with them, but then you would not allow that to break you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You still have to move forward.
Mm,
So we have to teach ourselves and our life to whatever that comes your way to move on. Job, lot of things happened to Job.
oh,
The book of Job 46, the Bible recorded it that his end was better than his beginning.
yeah.
So there is hope for the living, but not for the dead. As long as you are still alive, you still have hope. So I can say anyone, yeah, it's real. It can affect you, maybe maritally or in any means, but then still look unto God, the author and finisher of our faith.
Be hopeful.
He still have so many things for you,
Hope
which your
for
eyes and your
everyone.
ear have not seen or hear. That's my own submission. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That about just sums it up for today. Thank you so much, God's favorite. Thank you, Mr. Exceptional. Thank you, Emmy Love. Honestly, I'm really grateful because when we share real life experiences, people who are listening, they know we're not just telling stories. This is what we have been through. We're sharing, and we can tell you how we overcame, or we're still struggling, or something, but we're not just there and, hopeless. So thank you so much, God's favor. We have to still be hopeful. It's a matter of time. But one of the things I'll repeat again is allow yourself to accept what has happened so you can process it better, so that that can help you go through your healing process as well. Don't suppress emotions that you feel. If it's a lost relationship, a lost loved one, if you want to cry, cry. If you want to shout, shout. If you want to scream, scream. Whatever you want to do, just don't suppress that emotion, because you're only prolonging that healing process. And know that tomorrow is another day. There will always be, you're just going through that one heartbreak. You don't know how many other heartbreaks is still going to come. And we have to keep overcoming and overcoming. And that's in it. As long as we're still alive, we will find strength and we will grow. Experience, they say, is the best teacher. And they say what does not kill you makes you stronger. Guys, thank you all so much, to the gifter, to the tappers, to the sharers, everyone who has contributed. Thank you guys so much for making a very insightful talk today. I really, really appreciate you, Lord. And don't forget, I'm coming back on Thursday, 7 p.m. UK time, where we'll be actually talking about marriage and relationships. So don't miss that. Put your timer on, or put in your diary. Join me here on Inside, because I wanted to learn more about how we can enjoy our marriages and not endure. We're meant to enjoy it. And even if you're not in one, you can come and learn, because one day somebody might just propose, or you might be the one that will propose. So there are certain things we need to learn, and this will help make our relationships better, our marriages better. Guys, thank you so much once again for joining me. I will see you here on Thursday by the grace of God. Do have
Thank
a
you, ma. Thank you for having us. We're
exceptional.
grateful.
Thank you. God's favorite. God bless you. God bless those children, hobby, everyone. Emmy, love. Mwah. Much
Thank
love.
you very much. Ma, have you read what I wrote? I said I'm going to reach out to you after the live, if that will be okay.
Okay. Yeah, just DM. Yeah, that's nice. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Thank you very much. I appreciate. Thank you for this beautiful topic.
Thank you.
And have a beautiful evening.
Thank you,
Hopefully we
guys.
see you on Thursday.
Yeah, by the grace of God. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you.
Thank you
Have a
too.
wonderful night rest. Woo! Inside.